Hi everyone. Today is Friday, and if it's Friday, we all know it's Dating Corner. So today I am so privileged to have me on my show with one young adult who will share with us the challenges that they go through in this day and time. Hi,
Hi.
Brenda. Welcome to my show. I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, in this age and time, we all know how young adults struggle with the challenges of fitting in. Like, they want to have the money, live in big estates, and drive big cars. But the reality on the ground is that they cannot afford this lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, so what would you say are the causes of such challenges in these young people's minds?
Okay. From my own experience,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I would say one of them is peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when you're growing up, there's an age where you reach, you want to like fit in with other people, your peers. So, for example, in my situation when I joined university, uh, I wanted to fit in with my friends. I wanted to fit in with the my peers, my classmates, and just so that I could at least have friendship with them, you know. And yeah, so number one thing I would say that that was a challenge was that pressure. For you to fit in there, there's a way you're supposed to dress, there's a way you're supposed to behave, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So um uh, okay, I had financial challenges. So for me to dress the way they were dressing, you know, now you have to buy, you have to buy those clothes, and for you to buy, you're supposed to have money. And then you see, when you depend on the money that you're being given by government help loan, is not actually enough. So it can only cater for your room and when to pay for where you're staying, your hostel, and also food. Food itself is not actually a good food, but very low quality food. And for you to be able to buy clothes, I mean, you have to sacrifice some of it, food and all that. So I went to an extent of sacrificing my food so that I can at least buy some clothes, so that I can fit in with the university standard of the way students dress. So I went ahead and did that, but then it affected me. Um, it led me to making poor choices. For example, now if you don't eat, how are you even going to study? And see, the kind of course that I am taking right now is not it's tasking. I mean, it needs you to like it's taking a lot of energy from me. You're supposed to like really read. So when you don't have food to eat, like you're drained, and you're not able to read, and your GPA goes down, so you have poor grades and all that. So that was one of the poor choices I made. Peer pressure, fitting in with the crowd, and the way you dress. Yes, I ended up dressing the way they were dressing, but it led I lost something on my side. Yes. And I would say that's one of them that I've learned. And I would, if I have to advise someone on that peer pressure, I would say that don't, when you go to a crowd, don't, it's not a massive fitting with them. Just stand out, go the way you are, because people respond to confidence, not really. If you try to fit in, they will, you're lowering your reputation, and it's not good. So
Yeah, we've also talked about dating and how it went down for you. Maybe share with us some of the experiences that you went through as a fresher.
Yes. So relationships, I think that's the major thing that students usually go through. So like in school, in KU, there's a lecturer who told us that at this time, this is when you're supposed to be dating, because you're at that age bracket. Get to know get to know your mate, get to know people, interact, socialize, and that also always leads to relationships. And I would say that mine was not easy. I also wanted to stand out among my friends, because like all of them had boyfriends, and I didn't have any. And you see, I was born again. From that time up to now, I'm still born again. So I have values and I have principles. I have a parameter, a boundary actually, that I'm not supposed to pass, even though I'm in an environment where it's so tempting. I don't know how to put that. Yeah, so When I was in school my first year, there are so many guys who are approaching me, because obviously you know you are at that age where you're blooming, you look so beautiful to like every guy, but to them they had other intentions.
Exactly.
So yes, I had to give in to some of the men, the young men who are approaching me in the name of looking good in front of my friends, you know. So I gave him, and it led to me making another poor choice, you know, like it drained something out of me, and I felt like I was not doing the right thing. So the first guy I was with, we dated for some time, and people were like, hey, Brenda has a guy, you know. And but then at the other side, he wanted more than that relationship, so he wanted us to go intimate, and I couldn't allow that to happen, because see, with my Christianity, God, as in, I value what I value myself so much, and I'm a woman of dignity, being raised in a Christian family, you know. So I could not pass that parameter, and so we had to break up. The second one was the same. We broke up because of those
Pressure.
Yeah, that pressure. And the third one the same. It reached a point where I had to make a choice now, whether to leave, to follow to try to fit in the crowd, or maybe to stand out by myself. So I ended up joining a ministry in school that was called Believers Love World, I remember. And from that ministry, I started growing in the things of the Lord. And from there, I was able to stand up with my faith. I was not ashamed anymore to speak out my faith and bring it out, even though I knew that I would lose friends. So actually, that is what has kept me from making wrong choices, you know, and making the right choices also in relation. Another thing I want to say that young people usually go through, that I've seen actually among my friends in relationship, is that when you're not doing very well in school, your grades are very low, and then maybe if you're being sponsored, there are those students where for you to be paid for another semester, you have to like perform, and they are not performing very well. So what young girls would do is that they would go and sleep with lecturers, you know, get into unpleasant relationships with the lecturers, which, you know, that is it's going to affect your future, you know. So they end up doing that so that they can raise their grades, you know. When you sleep with him, you know, he gives you a higher grade, and that's what I've seen happening in school a lot, especially with young ladies who don't really know what they're supposed to do. Yes, I would say that's another challenge that I've gone through and I've seen in school. Yeah.
Well, Brenda is telling us to stand out and not to fit in. That is really a good advice from a young person like her. You don't have to fit in, by the way. Stand out. And one thing that I would also like to know is that apart from standing out and having your own beliefs and knowing that I will not sleep with these guys for anything, I will stand on my ground, is there something that you do like a side hustle to keep you going, just to share with these young minds?
Yes, so in school, you see, the amount of money that you're given as pocket money is never enough for a student, I would say, because now you have assignments to work on, and it takes money for you to, like, you know, print them, you know, do, maybe if you don't have a laptop and you have to go to a cyber, you know, print, and it's taking a lot of money from you. You also have to, like, eat, and for you to eat a good food, it's money, you know. Exactly. Like, so you have to go for lower quality food. And I would say that what I was doing is I learned how to make I would say necklaces and earrings, you know, those kinds of stuff, African beaded necklaces with glass beads, so that I could, like, sell them to my friends. So I would make the ones that actually would match with dresses, but also there's students, I think, for young girls like me. So the ones that they would be attracted to. Okay. So I took my time to make some of them, and I started selling them in hostels, and I think I did put God first to help me actually sell like all of them, because I was depending on that for me to be able to survive and even live well and eat well, you know, because my health is important to me. So actually at the end of the day I would end up selling more earrings than than I could imagine, and I saw God in it. God actually helped me, and He gave me courage to even continue, making more of those. So I did. I sold those stuff, and at some point I was also selling second-hand clothes for ladies. I would sell clothes, shirts, and shirts that that are actually affordable to them, and I would end up selling all of them by the end of the day. And I think
That's what you were doing.
yes.
That's amazing. I mean, some people look at the small things, never look at the small beginnings. Just do what you're doing. One day it will be that big, that great as you anticipate. Because some of the people want to get things so fast, but it's never lasting. Work slowly and grow through it, and you will see the impact. And so, what is your parting shot? What would you tell to that young adult that is struggling, like that one word that will keep them going, so that they don't keep on doing the wrong things to make the ends right?
One thing I would say is just do the right thing. That thing that when, and maybe another older person, when he or she sees you doing it, he will actually be proud of you. And then do the right thing. Know your limits. Don't